Hey, what's up everyone? Happy Friday! Welcome to another episode of the SEO Video Show. Today we have a very special episode with Richard Fong on how to build your 7-figure agency with just 8 hours a week. This is going to be a fun one, guys. I was fortunate enough to watch Richard speak at SEO Rockstars. So we're going to go over his presentation and dive deep into some questions that I had for it, and looking forward to learning a lot more. And as you know, one of my goals for 2025 is to go ahead and start my own agency. Speaking of starting agency, I would love the help of my AI agents with our sponsor, SEO. Go to AI Marketeer. Go to SEO.video/marketeer. It's a coaching course by Andrew Ansley, a past guest here on the show. How to build your own AI agents. Actually, it looks like Andrew's in the house. My boy, what's up, Andrew? Kenneth, happy Friday, everyone. Yo, look at my marketing and AI masterclass community up there as a sponsor. Boom! Get you that. What's up, everyone? If you're just tuning in, we have Richard Fong on how to build a 7-figure agency with just 8 hours a week. This is going to be a fun one, guys, so be sure to take a lot of notes. How are you guys doing with your New Year's resolutions? Have you broken any of them yet? Are you working hard at them? If you haven't seen my local SEO show with JP and Lambo Evans, it's on Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's at youtube.com/@GBPRoast. @GBPRoast. There you go. Oh man, my man. Richard's already here in the back. How you doing, brother?
Hey, good. How are you?
Doing good. We have a few people in the live chat saying hi. We have Carol from Seattle, Washington. Hello. You're based out in SoCal, aren't you?
Yeah. I'm in Orange County.
Are you near the fires?
No, it's like an hour away. It's
Okay.
LA, yeah.
Okay.
It's raging. The wind is definitely pretty big. That's not helping the fires.
Yeah. I mean, are you seeing some of the smoke in like your area?
No, it's too far away.
Got it.
It's random where it happens, but that's part of, people think of California is earthquake, but no, it's fires.
Yeah.
That's
I mean, that happens a lot more. Yeah. I mean, it's all over too. NorCal, SoCal, it's the whole state.
Yeah, it's too dry sometimes.
Latanya says, hi, Dre and Richard. Hello, Latanya. If you're just tuning in, we have Richard Fong, and we'll be talking about a 7-figure agency and how to build it in 8 hours a week. This is a great conversation that we're going to have. This is continuing off a special presentation I was fortunate to watch at SEO Rockstars. This is where I met Richard. Some great stuff there. Oh yeah. We got about 6 more minutes to go. If you guys have any questions, get them ready. Let me know where you're watching from if you're in the live chat.
My audio sounds okay?
Yeah, you sound fine. All right.
Nice.
All right, let's see here. Natalie Pham, hello from San Francisco. You have Stefan, my man. How you doing? Hi, everyone. Happy Friday. It's a lovely day here in the Bay Area. It's starting to warm up where I'm at. Is it pretty warm where you're at? Was it kind of like,
yeah,
like in the 70s, high 60s?
Yeah, high 60s. pretty nice today.
Yeah, it's crazy. I'll see some people like out with snow, like when people are meeting, like there's snow in their background. Like, oh, good lord! Yeah. Over here in California, it's like nice and sunny. Yeah. I mean, it's hot over here. It can get hot. Nice. Yeah.
You do pay for it with the taxes, but the
good.
They're nice. Right?
I mean, yeah, we do. There's a lot of higher cost of living out here for all the great weather.
There's pros and cons.
Yeah. Kobe says, "What's up, fellas? Hello, Kobe." All right, guys, we got about 4 more minutes to go. Today's topic will be on how to build a seven-figure agency with just 8 hours a week. Great topic, right, guys? I love it. As you know, one of my goals for this year is to build my own agency, whether it's an AI-assisted agency. I'm going to build one. That's my goal. Richard, you're going to hold me accountable for that.
All right.
Hey, Dre, where's your agency? Yo, Ernesto, what's up, my man?
AI agents, that's the 2025, right? That's
Yeah. Definitely want to look a lot more into it. Like Andrew Ansley is a sponsor of the show for today's episode. You can check
cool.
seo.video/marketeer. Guys, the link is in the description. Check it out. Ansley has a coaching program on how to build AI agents. So check it out while it's still at a very beta price. I believe it's going up next month. So guys, check it out. It's only $20. Check it out. Fletcher says, "Hi, everyone."
Yeah, Andrew's got some great tools. And he's a massive genius in this AI space right now. Trying to figure out. I can't wait to see where he goes. Already, like he's got this content sprout and got all this AI builds. I talk to him every week on a daily basis, so I know he's working on a lot of cool things.
Nice. Yeah, I've obviously I don't like promoting things that I'm not a part of, and so I want to make sure I'm in there looking at some great stuff. And so guys, if you want to get to know a lot of things, he's there for you guys. He does coaching calls, live weekly webinars. Victor says, "Hey." Maddox says, "What's up, Andrew? Loved your episode. Definitely check it out." You have Andrew in the live chat as well. All right, so the first about 8 minutes or so, I'm going to go over a few videos, and then about 8 minutes after, I'm going to go ahead and introduce you in, so just kind of at the flow of it. Yeah, so that's going to be like that. Anyone that's just tuning in, we have Richard Fong, how to build an SEO agency. How to build a 7-figure agency. You do more than just SEO, right? Is your agency, or is it just SEO?
We do web development too.
Okay.
And I build my own websites. I have some, sites on the side.
Nice. Sites on the side, huh?
Yeah, sites on the side.
Are these affiliate sites, just personal project sites?
They're more right now. They're more assets, but you could add an affiliate to it.
Got it. All right, we got 1 more minute to go. I'm gonna go ahead and put you on mute really quick, and I will bring you in about 8 minutes after the hour. Sound good? All right, brother.
Good.
All right, guys, we got about 1 more minute to go, and if you're just tuning in, we have Richard Fong on how to build a 7-figure agency in just 8 hours a week. So this is gonna be a great one, guys. Get your notebooks ready, get your questions ready.
Hey, time to get it started, no delay, let's work. Wanna see you be an SEO expert. Call Andre de Vera, steady dropping knowledge. Over 15 years in the game, so he knows all about it. Master the art of SEO, you will be amazed. Time to get your brand off page to on page. Dropping knowledge, legendary for sure. Whether you're just getting started or self-employed entrepreneur. Yeah, let's go. Subscribe to the SEO video show.
Hey, welcome to another episode of the SEO video show, where SEO is alive and fun. My name is Paul Andre de Vera, aka Dre, and I curate SEO videos released within the past week into about 1-minute clips. My favorite part of the show is when I get to introduce my guest, and today we have the CEO and founder of Bliss Drive, Richard Fong. Before we get started, let's say what's up to everyone in chat. I see Loud Egg, Victor, Fletcher, Ernesto, Kobe, Stefan, Natalie, Latanya, Carol, Maddox, Andrew. Welcome everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Now let's get on with the show.
Hey Dre, why did the SEO cross the road? They wanted to get hit by traffic.
All right. Now let's get on to some Google news. Last month, Google announced the 24-hour view in the Search Console performance reports. This week, they are making the export button available for that view. The ability to export data hourly for the last 24 hours was a highly requested feature. When I first saw what people are saying, I noticed that content was within the last 24 hours. So this may be a good indicator of creating short-form content based on this more recent data. So there's been a few videos on what other SEOs are focusing on in 2025. Let's check out what Nathan Gotch is doing.
Number one, content. Simple as that. This isn't just applicable to SEO like in Google. It's applicable to any brand that we're working on. We can always control content. We can actually create things and put it into the marketplace. That's something we actually have control over. We can also control experience. This is on our site itself, like actually influencing the people that are there, right? Making sure that their experience is solid. And we know there's so many variables that can influence this: page loading speed, the general design of the site, how easy it is to consume the content, the quality of the copywriting to keep people engaged. There's a lot of stuff that influences that, but we can directly influence and modify this, and we can do it based on data. By using tools like Mouseful or Hotjar, we can see actually how users are engaging on our pages. Now, you can't really influence it as much on other platforms, but at least on our website, we can, okay? And then number three is promotion. We have full control over this. We can promote our content however we want, right? We can do outreach, we can do paid ads, we can do, the list goes on and on. We can create micro content. There's just so much we can do. These are things we can actually control. We need to be doing it.
On-site user engagement has been mentioned for years when it comes to SEO. It's an excellent signal to Google that your content is helpful for the searcher. Okay, Matt Diggity shares his number one 2025 SEO tactic. Let's check it out.
It's to focus on increasing the brand search volume for your website. Reason number one is because I did a private data study on over 1,000 websites and found that sites with brand search volume are vastly outperforming sites without it. Reason number two, this Moz study basically confirmed the same thing. Slight difference as they're tying it to backlinks as well. And reason number three, I have sites that are recovering and thriving by applying the brand search volume techniques I'm about to show you. Now, my SEO team is going to be pissed that I showed you this search volume technique. Now hear me out. What happens when a person who's looking for a job finds a job listing that they're interested in and want to apply to? They Google search that business to see what the hell it is that they do. In other words, they generate brand search volume. Here's a list of job boards that allow you to post without an upfront payment. Go ahead and pause and screenshot this. Next time you have an opening for a writer, editor, or freaking in-house breakdancer, post your listing everywhere to generate a ton of brand search. If you want to take this to another level, you can run ads. Run cheap engagement ads on the target country you're trying to rank in to generate brand search volume like crazy.
I love running ads to increase my brand awareness. I mean, display retargeting is a great, very cost-effective channel. So definitely check that out. Okay, Neil Patel's team, NP Digital, gives tips on how to optimize for Search GPT. Let's check this one out.
And again, you'll see some of our Search GPT optimization hacks follow exactly what we talked about on the previous slide, right? Providing summary key points. Make sure you're mentioning your brand and reviews, optimizing for long tail keywords and being conversational, following technical SEO best practices like site speed and schema, using intent and relevance, maybe more so than keywords, and making sure that you're refreshing your content that's in depth, that has high EEAT. A lot of times, we'll talk about this a little bit later in the presentation, refreshing your content can pay a lot bigger dividends than producing net new content. And as the nice little Neil chatbot at the bottom says, this isn't very different than traditional SEO, is it? Right? So a lot of the same crossover between AI optimizations and SEO.
I'm curious, how many of you are optimizing for SearchGPT? Let me know in the description below. Okay, this brings me to my favorite part of the show. But before we introduce our guest, here's a word from our sponsor. AI Marketeer is a coaching program where Andrew Ansley, a past guest on the SEO video show, coaches you on how to build your own AI agents. Replace dozens of SaaS subscriptions with AI. Build a six-figure business in months and not years. He'll provide you a one-on-one call, weekly live webinars, and all his automation templates. Join now for just $20 a month before it doubles to $40 next month. Visit seo.video/marketeer or visit the link below. Now let's introduce our guest.
Richard is the founder of Bliss Drive and has been in the market for over 20 years. He has helped clients outrank giants like Amazon and Walmart, driving sales and expanding market share. He's been featured in Forbes and Entrepreneur for consistently delivering ROI. His journey is all about mastering the works and helping others succeed online. Please welcome Richard Fong. Rich. Oh.
Richard.
Wow, what a flashback. You found some good videos there.
Oh yeah, it's interesting to find like you were back then, like over 5-6 years ago. You were putting out like professionally created videos for your agency. I love that.
Yeah.
Everyone, yep. Everyone, let's make sure everyone welcome. Let's give a warm welcome to Richard.
Appreciate it. Thank you for having me on.
All right. I'm gonna get right into it. This is the first question that I ask all my SEO professionals to come on here in 1 minute or less. How's Richard get ranking on page 1 of Google?
Page 1 of Google. It hasn't changed much. Basically, on page and off page. Essentially, making sure the on page is right. We're using a lot of tools with AI to help us combine efforts in that way. And then off page, there's just plain old link building the same way as we've done in the past.
Love it. First knowledge bomb of today. Hold on, let me rewind this real quick. Take us way back 20 years ago. How'd you first get into SEO?
Yeah. While I was at that time, I was trying to get out of my day job. I was working as an analyst, and I didn't want to work in the cubicle. It felt like a prison. So I started moonlighting. Back in the days, there was easing articles. I don't know if people heard of that.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. Yeah.
Essentially, you post articles on there, you siphon traffic to your website, and then, you put some AdSense sites on and you get traffic that way. You get revenue. I was doing that. I was building like 100 sites a month. I was just doing these made for AdSense sites, and that kind of got me out of the corporate job. And kind of start building out that network. But then one day, like a year or two down the road, Google AdSense decided to shut all that down, shut all my sites down. So I'm like, oh no, what to do for income, right? And I read that, hey, with all the skills you have in terms of SEO and web building, you could do it for local clients. At that time, I was like, I kind of avoided people and didn't want to really talk with anybody and just kind of make internet passive income, right? The 4-hour work week. And so I finally came to a crossroad and I said, okay, I will try to kind of approach businesses and see if I can offer my services. And, luckily I had some friends that, hired me to do that. And I, knocked it out of the park for them, build my confidence, start going out to networking groups, talk to more people, and then kind of evolve from there. And that's been 2011. So, good over a decade.
Wow. Okay. So what? Why SEO then? What made you more interested in SEO than, like, let's say, other channels of being online?
I don't know. I think a lot of SEOs probably give the same answer in that it's free. Like, you get free massive traffic, right?
Yeah,
like if you know how to do it, you can get massive amount of traffic and you can get it for free without paying for ads and things like that. So I really like that part of it. And once I start getting in, I just like the part that, within SEO, it's a scaling execution game. Once you know what the knowledge is, and then you can execute it properly, you can get the results out of it. Versus, say, like media buy, it's just not only do you have to spend a lot of money, you do have to know the conversion, you do have to have the products, and there's a lot of variations to it. Where SEO is kind of the same thing. It's keyword research, it's content planning, off page. It's kind of the only difference is I say it's industry agnostic because only difference is just what industry and what keywords. The approach is very similar. There's some differences between local and national, but
love that. Love that. So wait, so then how'd you actually learn it then? I mean, you had to learn somewhere, right? Were you like anyone you followed or anything like that? Like,
yeah. So in the beginning, SEO was easy, right? Back in early 2011, things like that. You can kind of, buy like very bad whatever links and just have the right keywords and you rank. Right.
Yep.
Over time, there was algorithm adjustments, and I did not have a networking group in the beginning.
Okay.
That was my bad. So when things fell, when algorithm hit, I didn't know how to adjust. Right. So I learned from that lesson. I'm like, oh man, I really need to have a network of people that I can rely on that's testing and knowing what's going on with the algorithm updates. Nowadays, I run an SEO mastermind group, right? Okay. Half of these guys in the group are industry leaders. They speak at events. Andrew Ansley that is sponsoring, he's in the group as well. So I learned a lot from them in terms of just they're the one that's like my thing is I'm kind of introverted in that I don't go on Facebook. I don't go on social media much. I'm not looking at these conversations and things like that. But these guys, they all do. And anything that's important, they mention it, we discuss it, and that's how I keep up with industry updates.
Love that. So why? I mean, I'm curious, like, how'd you pick networking? Because I think that's kind of like it's awesome that you actually thought about that earlier. But like how if someone wanted to kind of do that themselves and like even build their first like networking group, like you did, like what would be something you would advise to them?
If they were to build their network, go to events.
Okay.
Go to events, find people you have a connection with, right? Andrew, I met him at the 31 Flavors, Stephen King Signal Lab. This was in 2019, and we just, Andrew, there was Tony Atkins, there's Chris Kozos. We just hit it off, we liked each other. We said, hey, let's keep up. Let's talk every week and kind of build it out from there. And, the mastermind's been around for 5 years now. Yeah. And it didn't start off like with 12 people. We kept it at 12, but it started off with just like 3 guys, 4 guys, sometimes, 2 shows up, and we just kept the relationship and kept the conversation going in that way.
Ooh, great tip right there. So just pretty much continuing the conversation from a conference and stuff like that. So Andrew's like probably one of the first people that you've actually started this mastermind with.
Yeah, he's one of the originals that came in, and then I just kept going to events. Afterward, I just look at speakers that whatever they said. I said, hey, that's really interesting. Come to my mastermind. Let's give us some more details, right? And then if I really like them, I say, hey, come back and join the group. How do we and it's kind of build from there.
Love it. Okay, let's get into the topic of today. I mean, so I know you kind of touched on this a little bit on your journey. I'm curious about how you started your agency. Like, can you share more of that pivotal moment when you decided to start your agency, and what was the biggest challenge that first year?
Yeah. So that moment where I was like back in the corner, like, hey, I need to do something different, was when I was building out these sites. I was heavily in debt because I was trying to say, I'll make this money back. So I was like $80,000 in debt. My credit card limits was capped out. I was like a month away from I can't pay rent and I need to move back to parents, which is like not good. That's not something you want to do in your 20s, right? Like you want to be out independent. So I was like, okay, I got to go talk to people. I got to kind of find a client who will pay me like at least $1,000 a month, so I can at least pay rent. And that was the pivotal moment. Like I was just basically backed in a corner. I had to go out and find clients and just do it. So, I couldn't rely on Google.
So I'm curious, like, how was that first? How'd you find that very first client then?
The very first client. Very first client, I actually just emailed out. I said, hey, I'll do can I write an article for you? Can I just do some promotions? And I set a very low cost for them, right? It was $250 a month. And then he came back like a couple months later. He's like, oh, I don't know what you did, but you generated more leads for me in the last 3 months than I ever did the previous year. So that gave me a lot of confidence.
Okay.
With that, I started going down to my friends. At the time, I was dancing salsa a lot. Okay. So anyone who had a business, I talked to them. Hey, I'm doing SEO, blah, blah, blah. Okay. I kind of just with my personal network, right? And told him what I was doing. One of my friend from college, he was an attorney in Kansas. He signed on. My dancing friend, he was a manufacturer and kiosk. So I didn't charge him very much. I charged him like $1,000 a month at the time. I just wanted to kind of have practice, have that round. And plus like, I really didn't have a clear process. I just like, okay, let's just get it going. But at that time, SEO wasn't that hard either. Yeah. Right. Yeah. So we could just do our thing and get results without doing too much work. Not like today where you have to, do quite a bit of work to get the same type of results.
Love that. So you mentioned the word network again. So guys, again, your network can be your very first place to actually get your very first clients, guys. So pay attention to your network. So let's go into some of the things that you discussed in your presentation that I would love to dive deep into, like the business development side, like getting clients and again scaling. So we talked about like you reached out to your network. So like what are some like referral strategies here? Like how did you leverage your other like networking groups? Like you mentioned, like was it BNI?
Yeah, BNI.
Yeah. What is BNI and like how can people get involved to something similar?
So first off, I'm not in BNI right now anymore. Okay. I'm in EO, Entrepreneur Network. That has a threshold of like $1 million revenue to get in, but everyone in there is my qualified target audience at that point, right? Yeah. BNI is a very easy entry point because there is no revenue barrier. It's a lead referral system. So you meet up every week. You have like your 30-second or a minute elevator pitch to your group that are supposed to talk to their network and then send you leads and you send them leads, referrals, basically, teed up.
Interesting.
Referrals. And one of the things that you do as part of it is you meet up with different people in the group individually outside of the meeting, have coffee with them, tell them more deep dive. So you learn more about their business, your business, so you can refer each other businesses. So it's great when you're starting out because you're kind of pitching your business where how they ask you questions, you're kind of understanding how the business owner even thinks about your service. So it really refines your messaging to them. So that was a very like good boot camp, I would say, good training ground. I was in there for 3 years.
Oh, nice.
Doing that. That's good starting out.
Nice, great tip right there, guys. And we have a comment here from Andrew, like if you want EO but you don't make 1 million, you can join Catalyst, which is an EO initiative. So there's I guess another version.
They call it Accelerator where I am, but maybe they call it different regions. But yeah. Accelerator is like 250K. Okay. It's a great program too. I was in Accelerator as well. They have scaling up the book and they go through the process. They have workshops and mentor coaching with that. So it's a really great program as well.
Love that. To do that. Love that. Okay, I mean, getting out to like in training, like other ways of getting more clients. Like, did you have any inbound marketing strategies that you're working on?
Yeah, absolutely. So what actually changed the game? So in the beginning, I was doing BNI, I was doing SEO. I was actually ranking really well for like Los Angeles SEO, Orange County SEO. I was getting calls like every day almost, right? But the problem is when you're organically ranked, the calls that come in, they're not really well qualified. Yeah. A lot of times they don't have budget. You get these random, just random calls that are not as qualified as you would like. What kind of had me stop going to BNI was because I started doing outreach. I started just doing cold outreach to specific type of businesses that I know have the budget and I could do a really good job of, right? And those are typically national companies for me. And once I kind of started figuring out that game and kind of had traction with that, I felt, oh, BNI, like most of the businesses in there are doing like 6 figures. So they're not going to have the type of budget that I want. I'm going after clients that can, afford 5K a month budget, national clients. So I just go after that in terms of using emails to outreach and things like that.
Excellent.
Let's dive deeper into that, like more of more of the outbound prospecting then. Then, like how, I mean, were you using like LinkedIn or anything like that, or like
I love, like if you go ever add me on LinkedIn, if you ever check my LinkedIn, I have like 16,000 connections, right? So when Microsoft bought LinkedIn back in the days, I was like, oh, it's a free for all. Like, basically, you can, there's a lot of people on there. We were adding like 100 people every day. 33% of the people would connect with you, actually. So if you're talking about we're talking about 3,000 connections and a third of them will connect with you. We're talking about 1,000 leads. And I was like, filtering for business owners of certain sizes and things like that. And then I'll send out videos, emails, because once they connect with you, that you can have all their email contact information, all their details, even their phone numbers is their mobile phone numbers, right? At that time, I mean, you can get it from like Apollo or something now, but at that time you wouldn't be able to get that very easily. So it worked out pretty well in terms of LinkedIn for prospecting, right?
So I'm for like the messaging, I'm curious, like what was your messaging like? Like what was that, like that email or that message? Yeah, like what was? Can you break it down for us? I would love to dissect that.
Most people, they give you their essay on LinkedIn of their prospect. I don't do that. Once you connect with me, I don't even message you on LinkedIn because I think it's I don't want LinkedIn to see I'm like spamming or whatever. So I pull your email, I get it on a database, and then I'll email you. I say, hey. I actually made a video. I said, hey, we connected on LinkedIn. I would love to learn more about your business. I would, love to share. I had at the time I lived in a high-rise condo. So I had a little cool background video, kind of like a 2-minute thing. And that got me a lot of meetings, right? And then also I hired a part-time appointment setter who will call these people and email at the same time. And so people are like, oh man, this guy's, he's not going away and he's pretty serious about connecting with me. And I got a lot of meetings that way. Now, the meetings, not all of them are necessarily like they're ready to buy SEO services. A lot of times they're just curious, like, hey, what is he doing, right? I have actually sold this strategy to another software development company. He's like, I don't know, what are you doing? Like, show me what you're doing. How you do. I really like your strategy with the LinkedIn, so I sold that kind of strategy to them as well. But it does. I still have relationships today from that LinkedIn prospecting strategy. And right now, LinkedIn. Just a side note: if you're going to do it now, you can't do it the same volume as you did as I was doing it. Right back then, it was 100. Now it's more like 15. You gotta spread. You can't automate it like you used to. You just get a manual VA, someone do it manually.
Love that, guys. You got it free. Where he was actually given this strategy, it was actually people were paying for this strategy. There, you got it for free here. Yeah. So be sure to take a look at that, review it, and kind of add your spin to it. So I'm curious too, like, okay, some of the agency owners out here that want to go into like at 7 figures, they need to get like bigger clients, right? Like, so like what are some like strategies that you've done to like move from like maybe from smaller clients or some tips you can go from smaller clients to like bigger clients?
That's a very good point, because a lot of people I talk to, I know, they're kind of below. They're at the $40,000 $30, 20, 40, and that's because most of their clients are local. Okay. When you're local, they can only pay you like 1,000, 1,500, at max 3,000.
Yeah.
Not very many local clients, unless they're like a personal injury where they're just very, unless they're very big in what they're doing, they're gonna, your average client size is gonna be what, like $2,000, let's say.
Okay.
Right. And how many of those clients do you need to make a 7 figures? So $83,000 So you need 40 plus clients just to break $1 million.
Oh man, yeah, that's a lot of clients. Yeah,
that's like, 4 account managers per account manager, one. So doing it yourself, you're definitely not going to do it. And we're not talking about all the back end, right, to service that 40 clients. But if you were able to get a $3,000 to $5,000 client, okay, instantly we double our average client value, $4,000, let's say.
Yeah.
Right. To do that, $4,000 at 83,000, you only need 20 some clients.
Yeah.
20 some clients, you almost can do it with the help of one account manager or two, very easily, and your margin's way bigger. And you don't have to me, you do this, you don't have to do as much work as a local client, because you don't messing with the GMBs, you're not messing with all these other landing pages for a local. And once you hit that one keyword with the right volume, you're good. They're happy. Like, they get a boost in traffic and calls and everything, and life is good. Life is easy that way, right? Now, with that said, I don't dismiss local clients. I'll still take on local clients just because I'm set up for it. It still pays for like a VA, not like a person, a salary, in the Philippines. So I'm still down. But if I were to go chase, if I were to go hunt, I'm hunting for national.
Got it.
I think that's the one difference that I see. There's very few, I don't know very many like 7-figure that are just focused in on a local. Maybe, like Josh Nelson with his HVAC plumbing and all that, that they say, hey, you could do a template, and that's another version that works for him. But I personally like B2B national, just because there's not a lot of competition, not a lot of people are going after them. In that way.
Wow, knowledge bomb right there. So I'm curious now. Okay, so now that we figure that we want to, let's say, go after a certain set of clients, what is your pricing strategy? Like, how are you structuring the way you price certain things? Because I mean, this is like a kind of big question, because some people get lost in this.
Yeah, pricing is actually, I make it very simple for people to decide, right? So, I usually go through a Zoom call. I do a discovery, show them where the gap is between them and their competitors. I show them our process, our 8-step process, and then I give them some timelines and potential ROIs for the timelines, and then I give them 3 programs. You want to start A, B, or C. Either way, usually when you give them a pricing, they have to say yes or no. But when you give them 3 options, they're not saying yes or no. They're saying, do I pick A, B, or C? Right?
There you go.
Which program, do I want to choose? What fits me better? And obviously the budget is going to be within that range. So like, for example, a typical local client, I'll say a $2,000, $3,500, and $5,500. A national, $3,500, $5,500, $8,500, right? And then if I know there's some enterprise, they're not even showing those options. We go on another custom, and say, hey, what's the ROI calculation behind that and things like that. But typically you just give them a price range based on what type of clients that they are.
Interesting, man. I wish I thought of that before I sent out my proposal last night. Because you're right. Because like now, instead of giving them a yes or no from the price you give them options. Like, okay, maybe which one what fits me?
Right.
Yeah,
and something's gonna fit, and a lot of times, sometimes they say, "Oh, I really want this mid-tier or higher tier," and then you can do discounts, and there's room to make it work, right?
Got it.
Just giving them one price tag and expecting to say yes or no on that.
Why didn't we have our episode yesterday? Oh man. So you talked about the Zoom call. I'm curious. So okay, you give them this price structures. Like, so how do you actually how's your close rate like? I mean, like, are you closing them right after like a presentation? Like, how's like how are you like? Yeah.
So the close rate depends on obviously how qualified the person is. But if a person is interested in the market, I have a pretty high closing rate with them. It's not usually, with B2B sales like this, you're not gonna close. It's not good to try to close them on the spot, because it's just people don't usually like to do that, right? They want to discuss it, think about it, whatever. But what I like to do is I do like to record the actual session, and then even send them the recording during that time. Now that we have AI, you can kind of recap different things to kind of remind them, because I know they may say, hey, I'm gonna decide in a week. Okay. But by that next week, they're gonna forget 80-90% what they talked about, for sure.
Yeah,
for sure, right? So why don't I just remind them? Because during that time, if they're really interested, they're at that peak state, right? They're like in that very, ooh, I want to go, but I'm afraid to pull the trigger kind of deal. And they're not necessarily wanting to do that right away anyway, and you don't want to push them that hard to do it, but you want to like get them in that state very quickly. And what better way than like a recording, a little summary of what they want, and always at the end of the call, I say, okay, yeah, I understand you need time to think about it. You got to talk to whoever, whatever. When's a good time we can meet up again and kind of see what you want to decide on, right? And I always schedule a time right there. Like, pull up your calendar. Let's just pull up the time, because I don't want to do the follow-up chase.
Got it.
Right. Let's just do the call right there. And then if they show up at the call, they have questions, they bring on someone else, game on. If they
there you go. Okay.
They don't want to reply back, they don't show up. Okay. At least you get that's a nice no for you, or like leaning towards a no.
Yep. Got it.
That's another way for me to tell without like following up forever.
Love it. Great knowledge bomb right there. So I want to go into something that you were mentioning. You talk about like account managers. So I'm curious about like operations and like team management and building teams. So first thing, let's talk about like delegation and like systems. Like, what are the first like operational systems and processes you put in place? When you want to grow your agency?
I got lucky in that, when I started out doing my easing and transitioning to the agency, I already had some people helping me. And fortunately, the person that was helping me was really smart, and she was already a manager at another agency. So she eventually became my operation manager. So, so she did like account management, but then evolved into operation management. So I didn't really have to decide like, I need to go find operation managers now, right? I think what a lot of agencies, the first hires, the mistake they make is that they hire someone who's entry level just to do like a sliver or whatever, but they can't evolve. So they get a lot of frustrations and, oh, what can I do? What should I do? Where I just found my operation manager potential, that person right away. So like things like SOPs or setting up procedures, like she kind of helped me do all that. Like we just had the idea, hey, here's the new strategy, here's the idea, go watch this, let's set up the SOPs, let's go hire some person to kind of fulfill that as things evolve. So that really helped out. So my advice is, on your first hire, where especially like that first batch, hire someone super like higher than what you need. Don't just hire for an entry level. Hire for like an operation manager, if you can, like, and they can help you do a lot of things. Hiring, SOPs, operations, communication leaves the headache of all that, rather than doing it yourself.
Oh, great tip. Just came in time for some of the hiring that I need to do myself. Thank you for sharing that right there. So I'm curious too, like in your presentation, you also mentioned something called like the EOS framework. Like, what is this EOS framework for those that don't know it, and explain it a little bit more?
Yeah, sure. EOS framework is it comes from the book Traction. And Traction came from Strategic Coach from Dan Sullivan. But back down to EOS, Entrepreneur Organization. So what that is basically it has different metrics of how you look at the business, from your data, your people, your process, etc. Right. And then there's some very important processes that you can use. So I don't do everything in EOS. I just pulled out the big nuggets that I do, right? So one of the things in there is scorecard. Scorecard is basically KPI for the different departments in your team or different people in your team, how they're going to be measured, right? If you don't know what's going to be measured or what they're actually, what success looks like for them, then they can't be successful, right? So we want to have the right scorecard, the right KPI for their performance. Next thing that was really helpful for me was running a level 10 meeting. So what that means is basically you start the meeting with a little quick update, like a little rapport building. Hey, what's good news on your side, my side? And then you dive into like, okay, what's the to-dos? Were they done? Were they not done? If it's not done, it goes to the issue part. And then once we get through that, then we start looking at the issues. And like, hey, what's the issue? Let's brainstorm. Let's go and kind of figure things out. And then you recap it with, hey, more to-dos based on the issues, and then kind of go from there, right?
Got it.
Before we had this type of meeting, my meetings were super like reactive, basically what's going on and blah, blah, blah. And it went all over the place. Not a great way to run the meeting. People are like, get frustrated and different things like that. So having a very well-structured meeting that people know what to expect, looking like, hey, we're going to look over these scorecards. We're going to look over the to-dos, really help the accountability. That makes everything run very smooth. Beyond that, there's a lot more to it, like org charts but if you have the main components of it, I think the business will run a lot smoother and everyone knows what to expect. That's the most important thing, rather than just whatever you come up with that day and everybody has to, it doesn't have to change that much for people, even though we're in like a very changing business.
Love that. So, I mean, is this how you like manage like remote teams, or like, is there any like, what are some tips too like, for people to manage like remote teams? Because I mean, that can be pretty hard too. Like,
yeah, my team is all remote, right?
Oh, was it? Okay.
We have a team of 30 people. This makes it, and that's what allows me to run my business in less than 8 hours, right? I'm not actually like, first off, I'm not like working on the client's accounts like actively myself, logging in, doing optimization. Teams do that, right? Like we have our account management team, we have our editorial, on-page technical team, and off-page link building team. So all I have to do is basically, I don't even have to meet with every team member because my operation manager could meet with the content team, the stuff doesn't change that much, right? The only people I meet with is account management to understand what's going on with certain client accounts. I meet with the digital brand team, which is my sites, right? Like digital brand, the sites that I'm building, but it's kind of an R&D for me as well to kind of implement to my clients. And then I meet with the off page just because link building and just outreach and there's a lot of components that goes into the link building and business development that has some synergy in there. So I meet with them. So we just go over the KPIs and different things like that.
Love that, man. That sounds like that sounds so sweet. I would love to get to that position myself. I mean, because I like, for me, I'm a consultant. I'm like pretty much doing everything myself and being that part. I would love to like get that person where you're talking about, where it's like, you have someone managing a team, and then you just really meet with that person that's the operation.
Yeah.
Oh, love that. Okay, so I'm curious now. Let's go into some advanced strategies. I think you talked about like even like growth by acquisition. Is this something that you've done? Personally, or like or like by acquiring other companies? I'm curious.
Yeah, this is something I have not done yet. So my good friend Tony Atkins, he actually exited his agency and got rolled up to another agency that's like doing roll-ups basically of other agencies. So he worked there for a couple of years. So he learned a lot about acquisition, agency acquisition. So and this is what he's advising me, and what I'm understanding as well is a lot of SEO agencies, especially, right? They're technical owners, meaning that they really like to do the work, be in front of the computer, figure out. It's like a puzzle for them. What they don't like is the people side of things, basically hiring the people to do the execution, getting clients, doing all that stuff. So what happens is, but they'll still do it, And so what happens is they get stuck on this range of like maybe getting a dozen clients. And then once they get a dozen clients, they're very busy focusing and working on their clients. So they're not doing business development. Some clients will leave and then business will drop. And they're like, oh, shoot, I got to focus on business development. And then they do that. And then the operation kind of suffers a little bit because they don't have people doing it on the back end. So it's like a ebb and flow, and they never grow out of it, that range. Where if I were to say, hey, let me come in with my operations, you can keep doing what you were doing if you like, and add to the process and things like that. But let my people go. You don't have to worry about hiring, firing, managing people. You don't even have to worry about client acquisition if you don't want to, right? And basically just do what they do, and just kind of roll in the existing clients that they have. We can just kind of find efficiencies in what the clients and the revenues that they're doing. I know I can cut expenses on that and then go from there. So I want to kind of try this strategy with agencies out there, with people who like are just don't want to do the full scope of what it takes to actually grow a 7-figure agency and just ride the train of an agency that's already in existence.
Love that. Love that. Love that. Okay. So let's talk about like recurring revenue. Let's say like how do you like ensure that some of your clients are sticking around? I mean, like are you like do you have contracts, or like are they voluntarily like renewing because you're very awesome? Like tell us like how you do it. Yeah.
We do have agreements. Typically, we have a setup fee that we waive with a 12-month agreement. That's why usually 99% of the time they'll have a 12-month agreement. Okay. So anything, and most clients will stay the 12 months, right?
Okay.
And within that 12 months time, we have enough time to actually get traction. Most of our clients stay longer than 12 months and kind of go from there. After that, what we do, we have a quarterly review, year-end review. Like right now, we're doing the 2024 review with them. And obviously, like, you're going to get your mix of clients, right? Certain clients, you do well for them. They're going to just stay with you, and they're not going to, they're just going to be what I call like my like stable clients that are going to just be the baseline of your recurring revenue. Other clients, I've had clients where you did great, you knocked it out, but they just are super like budget conscious, and they don't want to spend the money on the SEO. They want to cut it at the year mark. Okay, that's unfortunate. But then guess what? I got a good case study out of your industry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go after.
So you like so in their industry by using I love that.
So
got that.
If you're my client, I'm not gonna actively go after your industry in terms of. But if you're gonna leave me and we had great results, I already know the keywords. I'm going to go knock on the doors of your competitors. Right. So I don't necessarily say it like that with them. But a lot of clients they would stay just because they're like, we're making positive ROI. Why would you want to stop building your moat that way? In terms of support, account managers, we have mid-month reporting, month-end reporting. My thing is, don't have the client contact me just because they don't know what's going on. That's like the worst thing I want to hear.
Okay.
My protocol for my account managers over communication. You got to get the communication in terms of all the approvals, mid-month, month-end, and just kind of understand where the clients are at and how much they want to be communicating, and make sure you meet that, if not more, right? But at the baseline, you get 2 emails every month on the reporting, on top of like approvals on content. And sometimes we get them to say, hey, auto approve, just like whatever you guys are doing, just keep going. And then we do that. We have clients like that as well.
Oh, interesting. That's a good point there. Like just over communicating, because sometimes it's just the email they get from me is just maybe an invoice, but they keep okay.
Exactly. That's where because that's where you have to have some staff to kind of do that communication. I also have a marketing director who's local. He will set up specific calls to go over numbers and Zoom calls like this, so I don't have to do it, because I know certain clients, especially enterprise type of clients, they want that special handhold and touch and kind of go through that. And I just want to get on sales calls and make money. I really don't want to get on the analytics calls, and so I have someone else do that for me. But I know it's needed too. It just depends on what type of client need that. Some clients, they're too busy and they don't want to be bothered, and they just kind of do their thing. As long as their phone's ringing, they leave you alone, and you're good. So
love it.
I'm good with that too.
Love it, guys. Hey, time is flying here, guys. We are coming close to the end of the episode. So if you guys have any questions, go ahead and ask them in the live chat, and I'll bring them up as they come in. But so for like some closing questions here, I'm curious how it's like the lifestyle and balance. Like I'm curious just, you can roughly say how big your agency is, or how many customers you have. I'm curious, how are you balancing that?
Yeah, I really like my lifestyle, right? That's why I'm kind of sometimes I don't like when Tony was telling me about acquisition. I'm like, I don't know. Would it make me work more and stress me out more
Yeah,
to like acquire another, But I feel like okay, if I don't, if I acquire another SEO agency, I think it's easy. It's no problem. If I acquire something different, like a creative agency or media buy that I'm not like I can't be the chef of at the end of the day, maybe it'll give me more stress. So we'll see. But with that said, 8 hours. Let's talk about how I actually work 8 hours.
All right.
In terms of how I run the business and my existing clientele, like I said, I just run really 3-4 meetings. In the morning. I do it every day, 7:00. I run, I have a meeting with different departments. Monday, I have one with my operation manager. Tuesday, I have one with digital brands team. Wednesday, I have off-page team. And then sometimes Thursday, I'll have one with account management bi-weekly. And then we look at, the counts and just the meetings are run very efficiently so that we're tackling the issues. And then everything else is run on Discord. And they have my team's on Monday to do the project management. I don't even know the login to that. I don't even know. I don't mess with that. I just know if I'm getting a call from a client and they're not happy, I'll look at that and see. But my thing is to look at it beforehand before I even get that call. And we look at that by leading indicators. Are they increasing in impressions? Are they increasing in keywords and traffic and different things like that? So I know if I'm going to get that call. And, I haven't gotten that call for a long time, right? So those are things that help me prevent. And then I have the meetings are what sets priorities or sets like execution goals for people and then go from there. And then the rest of the day, whenever I have sales calls, I'll do sales calls. I love learning. So I'm doing like coaching. I'll talk to Andrew. Hey, what's the new strategy we're going to do with marketing, with AI, different things like that. So a lot of it's just development and business development. And then operations really like less than 4 hours that way, just because the back-end process is there.
I'm curious. So when it comes to like talking to clients, so you're pretty much front facing, right? So then, but everything else is all the teams, or do you have any staff that talks to clients, or is it just you?
Yeah, my account managers talk to clients. I have my marketing director that talk to clients.
Okay.
Essentially, I am just like, I do the sales. I'm very like, hey, I'm here for the sales. And then once they sign on board, my account management take over and my direct marketing take over. And clients kind of expect that. They understand like, I'm not going to be like, I'm not the that's how I sell it. Like, hey, my machine's gonna help you execute the strategy. Anytime I'm in the backstage reviewing everything, and that's true. And anytime they have a problem with the account manager, right? One time, this is a new client. All my account managers, all their emails coming to my account manager went to spam. So she wasn't getting their email, and she kept following up with them, and the client was just getting super frustrated. And then so the client reached out to me, and I was like, oh, okay, what's happening? I told my account manager what's happening. She looked at the spam, all those messages. Okay, sorry. Go apologize. Let's go smooth this out. So I only deal with fires, but fortunately, there's not a lot of fires.
Great. Love that. So we have one question here from the audience from Emily. Is how do you find good leads?
How do I find okay? So the best leads are referral leads, qualified, like what your ideal target customers are, right? Those are the best, right? When you're in the right network, when you have the right type of clients that have right type of adjacent clients, that's easy because the leads are already qualified. They already trust you based on that. So those are the number one best. Second best, I would say, are kind of warmed up inbound leads. They already found you. They saw some of your videos. They're already kind of pre-sold a little bit on you, and then that's the second best lead, right? The third type of lead, they're not the best, but sometimes you gotta do what you gotta do is the cold leads. Okay. The beautiful thing about the cold leads is you can shoot for whatever you want. You can go for whatever type of industry, whatever type of caliber you want. And it's just a matter of how you get in that conversation and how you nurture that conversation. They're not the best in that they get hit up all the time, and you have to build that trust. You have to build that, and you're not, in terms of closing ratio, obviously the referral lead is going to be a lot higher. The inbound lead that's looking for you is going to be a lot higher. And then the outreach lead, you're counting on that 3% timing that they want to kind of talk with you, and then you have to nurture it. That takes the most work.
Love it, man. This episode is packed with nuggets, guys. A lot of knowledge bombs. So I want to, if there are just three things for someone to go ahead and skyrocket their agency, what are those three action items that you can tell them to start doing now to go ahead and to help them out?
Yeah. So number one thing, pick the target audience that you actually want, the type of ideal clients that you actually want. And I would really recommend not just only the local clients that can only have a certain budget. That's number one thing. Number two thing is learn to do the sales process. I would even have someone review how you do the sales, because if you can, that's been the thing, right? When I started out, I didn't know how to do sales. I just kind of blah 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 blah.
Yeah,
sometimes people came on, sometimes not. But there are very procedural things that you can have a checklist of, and am I doing this, am I doing that within the sales process. So I would look into sales, have someone audit your sales process, have someone who knows how to do sales look at it, and kind of improve that, because conversions on the sales is the easiest thing, right? So lead generation, sales conversion, and then number three, get really heavy, the best people you can.
Yeah.
Don't try to get the data entry people, the lowest level people, the cheapest people you can find. Find the smartest people that you can afford, right? And that could be a different country, but they have room to grow with you, right? And that way you can run operationally without
man, you're killing it today, dropping all these knowledge bombs. And so this is the last question I ask all my SEO professionals that come on here. So for someone that wants to become an SEO professional themselves or get into the SEO industry, what would your advice be to them?
Talk to your network. Get that first lead, first referral. Just do it for free, even if you have to, and kind of get the confidence, and that you can use that as a case study, as a testimonial, make videos, and get more clients that way. If someone's just starting out,
Love it. And for this episode to feel complete for you, any last words for everyone out there?
If you ever want to learn more about how to grow a 7-figure agency, contact me. I can just see where you're at, what the sticking point is, and we can kind of look for there. If you have some knowledge bombs yourself and you want to come on as a guest into our mastermind, we're always open to guests to come on. You can hit me up, rich@blissdrive.com, to go do that.
Love it. rich@blissdrive.com. Hit him up, you guys. So can you hold on for one quick second while I sign off here? Hold on for one quick. Well, first of all, let's give a round of applause. Thank you so much. Just hold on for one quick second.
Sure.
All right, guys. That concludes another episode of the SEO Video Show. Don't forget to subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And don't forget to check out GBP Roast every Wednesday at 12 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Go to youtube.com/GBP Roast for local SEO show that just started like last month. And don't forget to visit our sponsor, AI Marketeer. Go to seo.video/marketeer, seo.video/marketeer, or click the link below. Till next time, I will see you guys next week. Peace out.
Hope you come back next week. Make sure to subscribe. You don't want to miss a thing. Hope you learn something new, because the vibe is incredible. From the special SEO professionals, SEO video show. Let's work. Want to see you be an SEO expert. Paul Andre de Vera helping you step it up. No delay right now. Time to level up. Hey, thank you so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe. Woo.